In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I spend family meals with my grandparents in a little village in the south of France. So I always get requests to show family meals, French family meals, and people just wanting to see what that looks like. And today, I'm finally gonna give you what you want. And I decided to go even bigger than focusing on just my close family. I actually asked my grandparents if they were willing to let me film some of our family meals. So that's what I'm going to be showing you today. I'm going to be showing you our Easter meal that we had at my grandparents' house, and also the lunch that we had the day after that. So in this video, you're going to be seeing people of my family, not my entire family. I think we were missing maybe half of it, like a little less than half of it. And I think this video will give you a general idea as to how we eat in France, how we spend family meals. Obviously, I'm not gonna be showing the entire meal, like the 2-hour-long meal. You know, it's gonna be sped up. You're only gonna see bits here and there, but it's still a good way for you to see the types of foods that we eat and the way that we are, the way that we are at the table. As I've talked about in previous videos, I think that the way that we share meals in France is different than in other countries. It's really a whole experience, and it's something that is, I wouldn't say sacred, but almost. It's really a moment where all of us are at the table and we just talk about lots of different things, and we all just sit down and have our food and spend a lot of time talking and really enjoying what we're eating. We have time to eat mindfully, and even if this is a pretty big family meal for a holiday, it's pretty much the same when I eat with just my parents and my siblings, except that the table is smaller, but it's the same thing. We still have multiple courses. We still all sit at the table and take our time to eat and are engaged in different discussions and don't watch TV or don't have any other type of distraction. I also thought that it would be interesting to show you how we eat as a large family, because I often get comments of people telling me that they have a really big family, so it's hard to eat whole foods and it's easier to just have processed foods and things like that. And I totally get that, and I'm not here to shame them or anything, but I did want to show you that it is possible, because we are a large family and you're gonna see the food we eat is mostly whole, unprocessed foods, and there's enough food for everybody. Everybody is satisfied, and I think it's just a question of habit. My grandma has always been used to cooking for lots of people, and she doesn't see it as a problem oh no, I should buy pizza or things to make it easier for me. She just okay, I'm just gonna have bigger quantities of vegetables and bigger quantities of whole grains and of protein. And so I understand how it may be hard for you if you're not used to that, but know that it's also something that can change, and the more you get used to it, the easier it will become. And if you're more interested in all the things that I'm talking about regarding the French way of eating, French food, and the culture regarding food and meals, then you can absolutely check out the videos. I did a lot actually on the subject, and there's a playlist that I have about French food and culture that you can check out here or in the description if you're interested. And now I think I've talked enough, and I'm going to leave you with my family meals. So here's our table layout for the evening, and while we wait for dinner, we are having an apéro, which is basically where we have a drink and just eat some nuts. So since we are a pretty big family, it takes a while for everyone to get seated and ready to eat. Stuck here in the middle. You tell me that it's simple, but I could paint 1,000. And finally, we started taking out the salads. So there are lots of different bowls of salads because there has to be enough for everybody. We like to have pretty much a full plate of salad before we get into the hot food. Now for the main dishes, we're having potatoes, really thinly sliced potatoes with lots of fresh herbs from the garden, My grandparents have a garden. Everything there is so delicious and fresh. And this is the portion sizes that we have to feed everybody. And here's just a bean and a vegetable stew. And since it is Easter, for all the people in the family that aren't vegetarian, though most of the family, my grandpa is cutting up some lamb.
Something about the sound of you is stuck in my head. I'm hopelessly romanticizing all that you said. Even though I see that I'm in too deep, I still gotta let you know that I never wanted anyone more. Falling forwards onto the floor. Feels like I felt this feeling before. I've seen you in a movie, I heard you in a song. Now I know that this will never go wrong. Like you already knew me, that's why we get along.
And now the meal goes on, the lighting is starting to dim a little bit, and we're all just enjoying the meal, enjoying talking to each other, having really long ongoing conversations. And we really take our time with these meals. We take the time for each different course and really try to eat mindfully, all while making conversation with people around us, but we can also focus on our food when we need to.
We can keep on going like we haven't seen the end, and living in a dream, but we're not pretending. I don't wanna wake up, no, I don't want it to stop. Never wanted anyone more. Falling forwards onto the floor. Feels like I felt this feeling before. I've seen you in a movie, I heard you in a song.
And in a few seconds, you're gonna get a wonderful intervention from my grandpa and then from my dad, who wanted to act typically French for you. And my dad actually has a really good American accent. He's totally forcing that accent.
We speak a little bit of English, and we are very proud to be French, and we enjoy drinking wine, white wine, and bread. There is no more, yeah, just one piece. And cheers!
It's then time for cheese, which is kind of something that we cannot miss as a French family, at least for like pretty large family meal gatherings. And dessert is also a huge thing for our family. We always have a bunch of different homemade desserts. Most of them are homemade. I think one of them was store-bought. It's kind of like a buffet style. Everybody gets the desserts that they like, and we're allowed to have all of them if we want. And since it's Easter, we also have baskets full of chocolate and chocolate eggs.
Why'd you have to go and set the bar so high? It's 2020 when nobody starts crossing right, and we can blame it on the guys who are talking in disguise. Got the body of a
And then we always finish dinner with this warm herbal infusion. I really could not finish a family meal without it. So for lunch, we have my dad and my grandpa chopping up some fresh vegetables, either from their garden or from probably the neighbor who has like a really huge garden. And my grandma is giving them orders as to which vegetables they should be cutting. This is what it all looks like. It's a huge dish. And we also are having some couscous. And as you can see, it's like a smaller group of the family. Lots of people had to leave, so it's just a few of us, but we still have to make pretty big portions. And we're also having some leftovers of the night before, so leftover white beans and leftover lamb. And without fail, dessert that my grandma always bakes herself from scratch, and it is so delicious, and I'm allowed to have 2 slices because I don't have meat or cheese. That's good compensation. And then we usually chat a lot after the meal ends. After we're finished, this can go on for hours and hours because it's really nice out and we're just enjoying this time to relax. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and found it entertaining. I would love to know if your family meals look like this or not, what's different, what's similar. Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and see you on my next one. Bye!